So welcome to another video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander.
And I'm Grant.
And we are doing our monthly debrief for July today. So July...
Amazing.
Right. Height
Amazing.
of the summer. So we didn't game as much as we have done other months, right? It's busy stuff going on.
You were on a trip.
Yep.
I started a new job. We were just busy.
Yes.
There was at least 2 weekends in a row that we didn't do anything.
Yes.
Which is rare for us.
Yeah, it is.
But we had stuff.
We might take like 1 week off, but
but not two
is...
in a row. So we really only played 2 different weekends in July.
Yes.
And then we played with our father-in-law and brother-in-law. So it was a slow month. It really was.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Although people are still like, it's still so much.
I know.
Right? It's just how it is. So this month, so in July, let's do that. What do we play?
Well, I thought 2 of the best games we played was 1989 Dawn of Freedom.
Which is an excellent game.
From GMT Games.
I love that game.
Jason Matthews, Twilight Struggle type game, but focused on...
a sequel to Twilight Struggle, really.
But focused on 5 countries and the collapse of the Soviet...
I freaking love that game.
Yeah. It was great. Card-driven game, fantastically fun and interesting. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, you've had it for like a year or so?
We got it almost 2 years ago.
But I know we'd been hankering
for like 5 years.
To get it. Even before, was it out of print for a while, I think?
Yeah, remember we found a copy and it was like $96.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I'm not paying $96 when the new second
It was already on
T500,
yeah.
It just took forever. It's just the way it is. They redid the art. Beautiful.
Oh, I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, the cover's completely different.
Okay.
I don't know about the game itself, but the cover was completely different. So they put some new things into it. Fantastic game.
Yes, it's very good.
Loved it.
I love the scale of that game.
Yeah, because it's very different than Twilight Struggle.
Yes.
Uses the same mechanics with some twists. I'm trying to think what that thing was called. The roll-off or the battle within the battle.
Yeah,
what was that called?
The power struggle. Or
something like that. Oh, it's good.
Yes, very, very good game. I enjoyed that immensely.
That same weekend, we played French and Indian War from Worthington Publishing.
Yes.
Loved that game.
Yes, that was a cheeky game.
Simple, right? There's nothing real complex there, but it's a good, simple game.
And Worthington's, I don't know if I would say that they specialize in those almost.
Oh, there's no doubt.
They make the kind of game...
playable.
You can just I can get that out and I can play it with a family member. Someone who didn't know anything about the history, frankly, or didn't know much about wargaming, if anything. But instead of playing chess, I can play French and Indian War.
Yeah.
It's basically the same level of rules and engagement.
Yeah.
But it's just a nice experience, and you do get something new and something real out of it.
Well, and I think
it's not an abstract.
That game also is not scripted.
No.
You can attack. You can go all in Louisburg. You don't have to. The game is fairly open, and if things go well for you, you can push your advantage and really dominate that game. I really liked that.
Well, and it's a 45-minute game, right?
Yeah,
If it tilts and you lose, you're like,
you set it back up, you play again. The hidden blocks are great. We love that. We kind of joked at the end. I was like, "Oh, you're really powerful there, right? I never attacked you." You flipped it over. You had
I could have won that game, but I totally forgot what you had.
My guys were,
and I thought it was
devastated.
2 full straight guys, and it was 2 1-straight guys.
But my French they got the good rolls. They got some good momentum, and I just kind of blitzed up the middle, and it was really nice. Great game. I really enjoyed that. It's probably one of my favorite games now from Worthington, just because I thought it was really good.
Was that the last of our French-Indian War games we played?
Yeah, we played, and that was like the 4th or 5th we played in June or July, or June.
Yeah.
Then we shot our video, we didn't do a ranking. We did a discussion.
Yes, and that's not out yet. They don't.
No, it's coming out.
So surprise, there's going to be a video discussing all of the French-Indian War games that we've played. And that's something we wanted to try, is do a video based on a theme, right? Or a topic within wargaming.
Yeah.
And we've got some plans to do more of that in the future.
Yep.
But I don't know, we've been playing Bayonets and Tomahawks.
We played that for like 2 weekends in a row.
Yeah.
Because it was so good.
And we were talking about Wilderness War during that because it's been a long time. Then we had French-Indian War kicking around.
Well, then we played A Few Acres of Snow.
Yeah.
And it just started saying, you know what, we need to
we just
play a couple more games.
Let's play all the ones we got. Screw it. So, not a ranking like you said, but...
Yeah. We could do a ranking, but
they're so different, I would feel unfair.
I'm not sure you're not ranking the same type of games.
Yeah, we discussed all the different games there are, the types of them, how they kind of compare within a scale of difficult and what you get out of them. So that's coming in the future. So I'm quite excited for that video format.
And frankly, we're going to continue with those theme choices.
Yeah.
We're doing World War I now.
Yes.
We've talked about Cold War,
which
I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
Because we've got several games we need to play. I've actually bought another game or two recently. Little games.
And we have played a number of Cold War games.
Yep. So we're going to start doing some of the, not always, but we're going to do some themes. And I probably won't do World War II. We've done so many World War II games.
Yeah, well, it's you'd pick a topic within World War II, right? You'd play all your Africa
East Front games, right. or Pacific Theater games.
We play East Front games.
We're
not doing that.
Yeah,
that's too
much. We've played a lot, and it's probably too much.
But that's also just as an aside. I think I enjoy that we've kind of moved to do these kind of things just to help us to focus a little bit.
Well, and after 6 years of doing this, we have played a lot of games on a lot of different topics. Yes. We really have.
But it's also...
Not everything.
It's easy for us to be like, oh, what are we playing this week? And we've got like a list of 15 games we need to play. And so it's like... Making that choice is tough.
Yeah.
But, saying, hey, let's play a bunch of World War I games. And so it's like, oh, easy. That makes the decision-making process a little bit easier on our end as well. So hopefully...
Well, it's fun, too, because I start thinking, ooh, what do I have on my shelves that we haven't played yet that I really want to play? Many games. You've got many on yours you haven't played. We're really going to knock these out. We're going to get behind in new games, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We'll get to them all.
But a lot of these are new. And, it just helps to... If I'm playing this game, I'm already in the kind of World War I mindset.
Yeah, let's
go. So I've got the context flowing around in my brain, so I can, I'm not coming at it from, I haven't thought about World War I for 3 years. Right? Yeah. So I'm really happy and kind of positive about that.
I also think we should do some sci-fi style games, because there are many games out there that, Space Empire is one of my favorite games of all time.
Good game.
So anyway, we were talking about games we played in July. We also played The Lamps Are Going Out. Yeah, which was kicking off our World War I Guns of August event on July 31st.
Yeah, right.
Literally.
It was that
Or July
weekend.
30th. Yeah. It was a Friday night. Played till 2 in the morning.
Yeah, big game. Big game.
Great game. I mean, strategic level World War I. It just was very cool. Very simple. Much more simple than Paths of Glory. But still a very good game. But not
in like a derogatory way.
No, not at all.
The rules are really easy to learn.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy to jump into this game.
Yes.
And it, I opened it and I'm like, it's like a 35 page rule book.
Yeah.
Boy, it is not. The rules are really pretty quick, easy to learn.
That was really good.
Which I'm like, oh, sweet. Yeah. Jumping into this thing, very easy to do.
Yeah.
It's not. And so, and great solo game as well.
Yeah, we talked about that. It absolutely would be a perfect solo game.
No hidden information. There's no reason you can't play this solitaire at all.
Yeah.
Which is a huge boom. You can't. I mean, there's the whole CDG method.
Paths of Glory,
you can do.
Because there's event cards that can be played at certain... I mean, very different.
And you can use the Stuka Joe method for all that. That's kind of what it was originally developed for. But you don't even need that for this. Which was I'm like, oh sweet.
Yeah, I really like that game.
Some great kind of bits and pieces in there that I really enjoyed.
So those three, then I played solo 20th Air Force.
And that's from Fortress Games.
Which I really enjoyed. Solo game on the bombing campaign in the Pacific. Very, very cool, very interesting. I'm working on shooting a video review of that. I've just been lazy in doing it.
You've been busy.
Well, I've played it 3 times, and really is very fun. I'm in the middle of my third game. I'm like, I need to shoot a video. I know this game. I'm gonna do it. You have 8th Air Force, but you haven't played that yet.
No, I haven't played that because on my table that I've been playing Solitaire, I'm still working through some Gallipoli 1915
from GMT.
So, and part of that's tied to kind of World War One thing. I'm like, oh yeah, getting back into it. They had the new play aids for it, the new sheet. So I've been slowly working through that over the bits here and there every day.
And we're looking forward to the Mons.
I could not be more excited.
That Jeff Phipps is
for
designing.
Mons, yeah.
It just hit the P500 3-4 months ago.
Yeah,
so it's probably a year or two away.
It's a ways out. He's still working on the developments and stuff. But all the change logs and stuff that they've got that they're doing, like the series rules have all this stuff in it. It's just being removed.
Yeah,
like all the stuff that never came up.
Yeah,
it's just being axed.
Got it.
All the amphibious assault stuff from Gallipoli, which is pretty intense. Axed because it's not in Mons.
Yeah, I mean,
so they're taking out the series rules, putting it in
specific rules to that game.
I think that package, which is going to have the new series rules in it, is going to be much more accessible.
Yeah,
comparatively, it's still a detailed game. It's still a crunchy game, but the new fire modifier charts that they use and all
just
of that
easier
stuff
to use, right?
Much more user friendly. Yeah. Much more.
So that's a big improvement because that's a really good game. We enjoyed that one. It's very big. It's very crunchy. A little unwieldy at times. You have stacks that are 6 inches tall.
Yeah, and it's a chip pull formation activation.
Yep.
And you've got your formations are stacked in and around, mixed in with guys at times, and that I hate that honestly.
Yeah, it's
just because it makes it. You have to look. I'm activating this second Anzacs, and you're like, okay, I got one in there, one in there, one in there. You do all your stuff, and you're like, oh shoot, there was one in there.
Yeah,
like I should have done.
Well, and then I knock a stack over too. That happens to me a lot.
So that it is not a small game by any stretch of imagination. That's why it's taken me a while to work through it. But yeah, it just I'm very excited for the next one.
Well, and that's the Spade and Rifle series, I think is what it's called. Rifle and Spade series. Just very cool. I'm looking forward to that one a lot.
I got high hopes for that.
So you played that solo. I think that covers what we played Nemesis.
Yes.
With our brother-in-law and father-in-law.
Not a war game.
Not a war game. But an Alien.
Yes.
Not Alien.
This is definitely not Alien.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Fresh off Kickstarter. Beautiful game. Really cool minis. Great hidden trader, hidden objectives, fighting each other, but helping each other.
It's one of those hidden traitor games where everyone's a traitor.
Yeah,
everyone's trying to screw each other over.
We played that one twice. I think like a Saturday evening we showed up at 4, and I think we played till like midnight.
Yeah, it was fun.
And had a blast. I think that covers it. I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think that's the games that we played. So,
which actually, now that we think about it, it's quite a few.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't
a small amount of games.
No, that's pretty good.
But looking forward to August, so obviously we've kicked off already our Guns of August event. We played Lamps Are Going Out.
Yep.
I've got Gallipoli going.
We just finished.
Paths of Glory.
Well, we played the introductory 3-turn scenario only to learn the rules, get comfortable with the system. And I think we picked it up pretty quickly.
Yes.
Not overly complex, but there's some complexity there.
So we did
crunchiness.
Yeah, we made an initial thoughts video. That's either out already. No, it's probably not.
It's probably coming out soon.
It's coming out very soon.
Yeah. It won't be out already. This will go up much sooner.
Yes. But so we've played those 2 big games, frankly.
Yeah.
We're going to revisit more of Paths of Glory.
Probably in September.
In a few weeks' time.
But let's bring the stack of...
a stack of some of the games
World War, because we've got 3 or 4 at my house we want to try.
First one that I really want to get to is Decisive Victory 1918 Volume 1. This is Soissons, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Yeah, don't ask me.
Probably not. What do I know?
I'd say Soissons.
You know what? Might be right.
Who's right? Not me.
So this is a brand new game from Legion War Games.
Yeah, it just came out last month.
Last month. I'm very excited for this. I know Randy's very excited for more of this coming in the series as well.
Legion War Games just does such a great job. They really do. Their games are great. I don't know that I've ever played a game of theirs that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
And we've played a dozen. And I love it. I love every one of them.
Yeah, I'd be hard-pressed to say there was a game of theirs that I hadn't had some kind of enamorment for.
The only problem I have with them is I just wish they could finish more games, because they got so many good ones in the works.
Oh my gosh, yeah. If you think the GMT's P500 is like a money sink, if you hop on to the Legion War Games,
you're going to find 10 games you
want.
The
CPOs, oh my gosh. They, Legion War Games only does bangers.
Well, and they do such really cool smaller games that deal with such interesting topics.
They're not doing Barbarossa.
No.
You're going to go on there and you're going to be like, I don't even know what that game is, but I want to know. And I want to play it.
Yep.
Love it.
And we've played, Maori Wars and Demyansk Shield, which was an East Front game, but a small part.
Yes.
What else have we... we've played so many of their games.
They got a bunch
we have
of
Heart
solo
of Darkness
games
we want to play.
Yeah.
And
oh, yeah. Oh, crap. Yeah, we got to get
a Splendid Little War we want to play on the Spanish-American War. And
they
anyway, we could go on and on, but
yes,
this one looks really interesting.
I'm very excited for this.
Have you clipped that one?
Yep, this is all ready to go.
We probably need to play that next weekend.
This is ready to go.
We'll play that next weekend. That's what we'll do.
The next one we have is
Red Puppies.
Red Puppies Campaign. This is John Gorkowski's series that he's made with Compass Games. This is Volume 3. Assault Artillery,
and we don't own Volume 1 and 2, but we can still play this one.
Yeah. These are they're standalone games in a series. It's not a sequel or anything like that. This is also clipped and ready to go. Just so you know.
Okay. Well, maybe we can do both those next weekend and do it an all-day Saturday thing.
Maybe, because these are both quite long games.
Okay,
apparently.
maybe we can't.
This one's a 2-mapper.
Okay,
and it's in a long fashion.
Got it.
It's got all the barbed wire printed on the map.
Okay,
it's like,
nice.
This is a hardcore
it's a beautiful looking.
Look
at those tanks.
And it's a series that keeps going. This is Volume 3 in it. It's got a lot of great reviews out there, and this is a study of this World War I battle.
Yeah, John Gorkowski's a good designer. Yeah. He's done a lot of very interesting games.
So I'm
looking forward to that.
I'm very excited for this as well because it's always nice to dabble in a series that's pretty well established now that we haven't experienced yet. This would be something very new for us.
Yeah.
And typically, if something doesn't do well because it's not very good,
you
don't get to Volume 3.
Yeah.
So I have very high hopes for that, and I expect it to be very good.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Next we have Empire at Sunrise from Hollandspieler. This one I'm also intrigued by.
Well, this deals with the Pacific during World War I. And it really is an interesting game because it has like 3 scales, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's got the into.
Yeah, it just looks so interesting. I don't know. This game looks really cool.
Yeah,
very looking forward to this.
A lot of it's you've got it's Kaiser's pirates, ships in the Pacific, and this is what drew Japan into this war. This is what then brought them, in a small part to the table at Versailles. Mm-hmm. From there, you springboard into them feeling snubbed, and they go into more nationalism.
It heads to World War II. Yeah, John Gorkowski again.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, really, 2.5 hour game.
Well.
So maybe this is one we can do and play another.
Yeah, we can do that with someone. So yeah, that's.
Oh man,
but
that one looks
once
good.
Again, Hollandspieler, similar to Legion War Games, unique themes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Always new. So this is another of their games called At All Costs. This is an East Front game.
By Tim Taylor,
yes.
the late Tim Taylor.
Yes.
They passed away a year ago, maybe.
I did not know that.
Yes.
At least time-wise. But yeah.
So that is why I wanted to play this to remember.
Yes.
To remember their design efforts, I wanted to play this very badly. And we've had it for a while, we just have not got around to it.
What's interesting about this game is it's a little bit different from some of their other games.
Yep.
From the war game standpoint, at least, it's got a lot of stuff in here, and it's a 3-hour game. A lot of their games are
pretty involved,
a little bit shorter than that,
Yep.
a little bit lighter than that. This is like a pretty hardcore war game.
The thing I think is very cool about this game is these wooden markers that represent your armies. They have counters too, but it's just so cool. I just think the game looks so very interesting.
Yeah, so this is World War One East Front. So
Yes.
it's, some of the names will be familiar from all your Barbarossa campaigns that you do, but this is it's a very different situation.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was interesting. I've actually spoken to Amabel about this game. Like, they were like, when they picked this design up, they were like, this is the kind of game that's going to be Hollenspieler's bread and butter.
Yeah.
And really, it's kind of not. This is a very unique game in their catalog, and they've designed a whole bunch of other different style games. So I'm very curious to play that game as to what it offers.
I did an interview with Tim Taylor on this 3-4 years ago, and the game looks fascinating. So definitely, to honor them, we're going to play this.
Yes.
We are going to play that.
And then the last game that I have here is one we got in the MMP sale last year, and this is Breakthrough Comrade. So this is the first kind of mass tank attack that was performed in World War One by the Allies.
So is this the Kursk of World War One?
No.
Okay.
This was this is more like the Polish Blitzkrieg.
Okay.
Where the Germans,
Looking forward to that.
see, I didn't quite know what they were up against with this many tanks just rolling across.
Yeah.
They advanced like 12 miles in 2 days, and then realized that they didn't have supply lines.
Yeah. Big part
basically,
of wargaming.
and then the Germans pushed back and they had to retreat and lost all the ground.
Who
But
designed it?
they made massive gains. Oh gosh, I
trying to
had
look
looked
on
it
it,
up
sorry.
when I did the unboxing. It's Mike
Ranella.
Ranella.
We've done a lot of his area impulse games.
Yeah, so this is an
that's what
area
it is.
impulse
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Uses a lot of those same systems that we're familiar
Looking
with.
forward to this one.
So you're like,
This one's an older one, like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
2011, right
2011.
there.
Yeah, it's been around for a bit. I'm like, you know what? World War One game.
Yeah, why not?
Area moves. What's not to like about
What
those
is
things?
not to like?
They're usually simple. You also, Micronella system is always usually pretty good for solo play too.
Well, we've played. What have we played? You played the Japanese one.
Yeah, so I played Last Battle Ieshima, good
Yep.
for solo play. 1945 Return to the Rock.
Yep. And then we played.
Corregidor Return to the Rock is what it's called. Yeah.
You and I played.
Is it Patton's Vanguard? Is that what it
Patton's
is?
Vanguard. Yeah.
Also very good.
Yeah, from Revolution Games, I think.
Yes. Revolution does a lot,
most
prints
of
a lot of
Mike
his
Ranella's
designs.
game. So games that I have that I did not bring this evening that we still want to play and look at. One is Devil Dogs of Bellow Wood by John Paniski.
And that's
from Worthington.
The first major engagement with the U.S. Marines in World War One.
Yep.
So is it the first, or is it the one where they made their name?
It's where they made their name.
Okay.
Yeah, Bellow Wood is their most famous famous combat in World War One. Fascinating game, kind of card driven, but a little different card driven. Doesn't have necessarily events.
And that's got it's a Rick Barber map.
Yes, yeah, it's a very interesting looking map. The cards are really cool looking. The game is very interesting.
And that's put out by Worthington, right?
Worthington, yep, came out about a year and a half ago. And then there was one other game that a Great War.
Yes, is it called the Great War Commander? No,
it's the Great War, and we want to play the tank expansion because we have played the other two expansions, the French and then the base game. So it's a commands and color style game. We put that in our ranking video.
And it's put out by Plastic Soldier Company.
Yes,
PSC Games.
Beautiful production. It actually has little tanks.
Little is a strong word. Some of those are
pretty
freaking
big.
huge.
And I think I've got 4 tanks, so each of us will have 2.
Well, most of the scenarios don't hold that many.
Well, that's true. It's 1 or 2 tanks, but I'm looking forward to that one because I really enjoy that system, the commands and colors style.
Yeah, that's like a fun,
just
light game. We get to play with tanks. Who doesn't want to do that?
Yeah.
Right?
So we're going to play that one. I think that kind of wraps up what we're going to... 1919 Storm in the West from GMT.
Yeah.
Another game by Ted Racer.
Yes.
So that's like 7 games we're going to try to play over the next... I just don't know how it's going to happen.
Well, obviously, a number of those are probably going to bleed into September as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Because, you can play some of these together. but a lot of them are longer games.
Yep,
right?
they are.
So
3 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 or 4 hour. Yeah, it's going to be. So anyway, big event this month. Lots of cool World War I games. I think we're going to enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah, if you don't like World War I, just unsubscribe now.
Yeah, don't watch this month.
Sorry.
Yeah. But please don't not watch.
Is there anything going on Kickstarter with regards to war games?
You know, I feel like I've been out of touch this month.
Yeah, we've had a lot of stuff going on.
So, Worthington Publishing has a Hold the Line Excalibur.
Yes.
The Battles of King Arthur.
Yes.
It just came on Kickstarter, I want to say 5-6 days ago.
I'm very
excited. I think tomorrow will actually be a week. I'm working on an interview with the designer. He's working on it. I hope to have that up in the next week. The other Kickstarter that I know of, Matt White, who has done a lot of the art for David Thompson and his, like Soldiers in Postman's Uniform, his solo game, style games. He has a series of print and play World War II games where he does the art, and it's amazing. If you haven't looked him up, look up Matt White. On Twitter, it's like World War II artist, and then on Facebook but he's doing a game called The Road Chosen.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a small format, print and play, not hex encounter, but area kind of move with counters that is a narrative-driven style game. He has a couple of others that he's done over the years, but that's one that I'm aware of. And I think that's all that I really know. So, I feel bad.
No, it's fine.
But that's what I know of.
Yeah. As an update, we backed 1979 Revolution in Iran.
Yeah.
That is... They just posted an update.
Dan Bullock.
Yeah. That's coming out. It's being published by a non-profit, the Dietz Foundation. Mm-hmm. That's scheduled tentatively to be around October-ish.
Okay, so soon, next couple of months. It's card-driven game on...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
On the Iranian Revolution.
So yeah, right. Later part of the year, that's going to deliver. I'm pretty interested in that. And
that one looks pretty good.
Yes. So
and Dan Bullock's a great designer. We've enjoyed his games. No Motherland Without.
Very good game.
He's working on In the Shadows from GMT Games, which is that French Resistance game. He's doing with 2 other guys. He's very unique, and I like his style. So looking forward to that one a lot. The only other game that I can think of coming from Catastrophe Games is a game on Afghanistan, and I'm drawing a blank. Tim Densham. Their company did the Maccabean Revolt game.
Yes. I remember that game.
I'm totally drawing a blank.
Judean Hammer was the name of the game.
But I'm drawing a blank of the name of the game, and I apologize. I just got the prototype this last week. Bummer. Anyway, I think that's in September. But
you'll hear more about that later.
You'll hear about more of it. I'm doing an interview with him, and we're also probably going to do a preview video with him to help him out. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that's what I know about on Kickstarter. Okay. There's always good games coming out.
Yeah.
We did just take advantage of the Compass Games summer sale.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Which I was really excited about because I've wanted that once we moved Like the Wind for a while. This is a block war game on the Apache Wars.
Yeah.
In the Southwest. So I'm really excited about this one. It looks amazing.
A topic I would say I know nothing about.
I don't know that I know a ton about it other than, that's Geronimo on the front, a great Apache leader. I'm really excited about this one. So we bought this one. I think we paid $40 for it. Normally it's like 60, 65.
It was very reasonable.
But I'm interested to play this one because I love those American Indian war games. They're very
I'm
good.
A glutton for punishment, so as part of that, I ordered for Novo $14.95. It's a single grand strategic battle, but it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
And again, a topic
that we've
never gamed, and this is kind of because this conflict, well.
So this is Pike and Shot, probably, right? Style game. Men of Iron style.
I don't even. Yeah,
you got some cavalry there. Maybe they don't have shot, but
they have. Now they got some cannons.
Got a baggage train there.
Yeah,
that's pretty
cool.
But
this is like this particular conflict with the Italian wars. You know, that's the stuff that builds and leads into Reformation.
Yeah.
And Here I Stand kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So this is the background of that.
Yeah,
that
right.
Goes into
Building
that.
Up, yeah.
You know, why the political situation was the way it was. Always very interesting. Mm-hmm. Apparently, this game's quite complicated.
Okay.
So, who knows? It was a bargain.
We'll enjoy it.
So, at some point, we will get to that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
So, I brought that up because those kind of summer flash sales are really cool.
Yeah.
Because you can get some good games for very affordable prices. So,
yeah,
we took advantage of that.
Right. And it's stuff that, like, I don't know if I've ever played an Apache Wars game. Never played a game on this topic. And I think variety being the spice of life.
Yeah.
Always try new topics, new different things, bits and pieces here and there. That helps to enrich my wargaming experience.
I would agree with that.
There's only so many, like, you can play as many World War II games as you want. You're totally allowed to do that. But like,
and we love World War II.
Yeah.
So
if that's all you play,
you're good.
That's totally fine. But like,
we like some different.
I like, trying out some new things. Mm-hmm. Even though it's stuff that I'm like,
yeah,
it's you get a different style of a game, a different experience. Your mind works in a different way. I love it.
Well, that's the great thing about wargaming is there is a conflict for everyone. What your interests are, there are games on that subject. There may not be a ton of games, but there are going to be something out there on that topic.
Someone's done something for
Yeah.
And if they haven't, it'll be on Legion War Games soon. Because someone's doing it.
Right. They're working on it. So
yeah, but there are people who play only Ancients and could not care less but anything that was in the 20th century.
And
right?
that's fine. We love Ancients game. We've played several of them.
There's a billion Ancients games.
Yeah.
From all different types of scales and all different types of mechanics.
Yeah.
You can find something out there for you.
And we've got some Ancients games that we would like to play. I mean, more of, right?
Yes.
So there's something out there for everybody.
Yes.
I think that's what makes it great.
Yes, absolutely. So, let's proceed on to the main topic of this week's
our chosen topic
debrief.
From our patrons, right?
Yes, so.
Or suggestions from our patrons.
Yeah, every month our patrons get to suggest topics for our monthly debrief that we feel we could reasonably have a discussion about. And
because some of them we can't.
Yeah, some of it I'm like, don't feel qualified to talk about, or it's like...
or I don't want to talk about that. I mean, yeah.
So this month's suggestion comes from Michael Vincenti, and he asks about our opinions, and that's the important part, on the solitaire side of wargaming. And he asks, do you believe that solitaire wargaming is trending up, and the publishers are targeting this group, or it was just vamping up because of the basically coronavirus pandemic? And will it come back to what it used to be before 2020? And that was his question.
Yeah.
So, there is a lot to talk about when it comes to solitaire wargaming. But to answer the question off the bat, did it ramp up because of the pandemic?
No.
No.
It was already in full bore production and design and development. Solitaire wargaming, we talk about this all the time.
Yes.
We are very fortunate.
Yes.
We like this genre. We like historical games. We play these together. If you weren't here, we wouldn't. I would not play these games as much.
No, yeah.
I wouldn't have that opportunity. But there's a whole line of solitaire war games that anybody can play. You can also play many of these games solo. They have sometimes dedicated solo modes. Paths of Glory earlier tonight we played. There is a Stuka Joe's card-driven game solo method.
Yeah.
That actually is now offered by GMT. You can P500 it.
You could print and play it for a long time. They're actually making it now.
And you can play any game solo. You can always do double two-fisted. You can... Hidden information is always hard. The bluffing concept is always hard.
Yeah, you might lose some elements of it, but a game is generally playable.
Yeah. But solitaire gaming, as you know, you are the big solitaire gamer, I think, in our relationship. I've now started... I'm sorry. I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, we're brother-in-laws, right? We play all the time. I now play a ton of solo games. I've got like 30 solo games on my shelf. Played every one of them, love them.
Yep.
Couldn't live without them. And they're amazing. More and more and more of those are coming out.
Yeah, I think if I was going to say specifically to address that part of the question, the topic is probably the sales of solo games may have gone through the roof.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
But the design and development of them was already all the way up there, and it has been. You know, we've been playing these since maybe like 2015.
Yeah,
and there was already a ton of solo war games and a ton of people playing solo war games.
Yeah.
And you can go into the reasons of why people like that, right? People want to just play by themselves if they got an evening, you know, or they might not have a group of gamers who are interested in that. Like, we play games with other people, but usually not war games, right?
Right.
We'll play dungeon crawlers, area control games, Euro games, those kind of things with the groups of people, because not everyone wants to get down and dirty with the crunchy history stuff. Nothing wrong with that. But, you know, sometimes you don't have a group with it, or you don't live in an area where there's anyone that's local. That you
or you don't want to play with other people.
Yeah.
There are some people that don't want to play, and that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, there are some big cities where there is a wargaming group. They're on Facebook.
Yeah.
You can find them easily. But you might be like, it's not for me. I just want to like push around, experience some gaming. Maybe it's just that's what your hobby is.
Yeah.
Right? I know a lot of people are like, well, why don't you just play video games? Well, there's a tactile nature to it that you get to like sit and do your time and make your decisions that you want to do. But a lot of people do play war games on the PC as well. That's
there's nothing wrong with that. Like you said, the touch and the feel and the being able to hold the components, and to me, that's what excites me about this stuff.
I get to read a rule book at the end of which there's some designer notes. Sometimes there's even an interview, or there's historical notes and explanations. There's a bibliography.
Yeah.
Because wargame is much more than just playing a game. It is playing a game. That is part of it. But people use this as an auxiliary part of their interest in history, or their interest in some element of philosophy. Things like that. It's, you know, and so I think it's especially true when it gets into solitaire gaming, because if you're on your own in your little hobby room, the game is whatever you make of it.
Yeah.
And so you bring so much more to it. But yeah, I remember playing my first few solitaire games were Phantom Leader from DVG and RAF Battle of Britain from Decision Games. I love both of those. It's two of my favorite games.
Yeah.
And I remember playing them, and people would just be like, oh yeah, RF's best game ever.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, John Butterfield makes like only amazing solitaire games. And so I'm like looking at his other designs.
Yep.
Or I'm looking at DVG's other Leader series.
Yep.
And it was nice, you know, we play a lot of war games 2-player. But it's nice to talk about solitaire games, or games that you can play solitaire, because so many more people resonate with those. Like, when we talk about, I think, like, our introductory solitaire war games videos are some of the most popular videos we've ever made.
Yeah, they have,
We're talking tens and tens of thousands of views.
Yeah.
And that's enough, that tells me enough about
That's pretty big.
Who's looking and how popular those things are.
And how many times have we been asked, if I had $1 for every time we've been asked, what company makes good, solid, solitaire war games? I mean, we'd have a lot of dollars.
Yeah.
We would.
And the answer to that question is every war game company, because
they've got something solo.
Because they enjoy money and they're not idiots.
Yeah, they enjoy money.
That was it. Was I'll come back. I had a discussion with Amabel from Hollenspieler, and she was like, we were talking about NATO Air Commander.
Yeah.
Excellent solitaire game. And I don't know.
Hollenspiel has a ton of great games. But anyway.
And she was talking, they had a little bit of trepidation about making that game, because they were like, it's just like Cold War gone hard, solitaire game.
And you're moving stuff around the board.
And they like published the thing, one of the most popular games they've made to date.
It's amazing.
It was like, oh, okay, like, you make a solitaire title that's like any kind of good, and you're going to print some money for your company, because the market for those, regardless of the your global situation, is huge.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. We're very lucky that we have each other and we play almost every week. So many people don't have that.
Yeah, and I feel badly for them. I wish they had somebody to play with.
Right.
But
and so
they can play solo games that, you know, once again, there's two types of solo games. There are specific solitaire designed games. Then there's games that are more, you know, doable solo. I think there's two very distinct different genres there.
Yeah.
They both have merit. We have done both of them. I like typically the solitaire designed ones because they're sometimes a little quicker. They're easier to understand and get on the table and play. And you know what? We say this often. Hey, if you make a mistake, there's no rules lawyer that's going to pop in and say, you did that wrong. You just redo it and you keep playing.
Yeah.
Or you made a mistake, you just play, and then the next time you play it, you won't make that mistake.
Yes.
To me, that's one of the great things. What I do miss is the interaction, though. That's one thing I miss. We love to talk about rules. We love to talk about strategy. We love to talk through things. I love to bluff you. You love to bluff me. You don't get that in those games. You really don't.
No.
But that's okay. There's a lot of games out there that you can do. I did want to say, you talked about John Butterfield. My first specifically solitaire design game was D-Day at Tarawa.
Oh, yeah, it was.
I bought that at Origins in 2015. Wow. And I remember sitting down and reading that rulebook going, what have I done? But I figured it out. Yep. I found a couple videos online. I played it. I loved it. I played it again. Loved it even more. Learned it. Understood it. I got D-Day at Iwo Jima. I didn't like it as much.
Well, yeah, because that one...
It's different.
It's different.
It's different.
It's a different designer. They changed the system.
Yeah. But that was my first specifically designed solitaire game. From that point, I've grown to Comancheria was my next game. I mean, I've played a ton. Lots of leader games. Sherman Leader, Gato Leader, Corsair Leader. I mean, I just love them.
Yeah.
Warfighter is one I've done solo myself. And it's better with us when we're playing together, but it's still very well done solo. I played War of the Worlds from DVG. I have a whole shelf of games from White Dog Games. If you don't know White Dog Games, do yourself a favor. Look them up. They've got dozens of amazing solitaire games. We've got videos online that I've done. Some of the best games I've ever played. I mean, Jeff Davis is a fantastic solitaire war game. States of Siege style.
Yeah.
I mean, Dawn of the Zeds, if you like a little sci-fi zombie.
Dawn of the Zeds is hilarious.
Herman Luttman, you can do that one solo. It's fantastic.
Well, and Worthington has got the rights to a lot of the States of Siege games.
Yeah, they're redoing
They're in
them.
the process of deluxifying.
I don't know that Worthington has the rights. Those designers have gotten the rights back.
Yeah, but
then they work with Worthington.
Yeah, Worthington's doing their best to collate them all,
right?
As many as they can.
To get, they just did Keep Up the Fire. They just did Herman Luttman's In Magnificent Style. They're working on there's the Malta game. I can't remember the name of it.
No,
Malta Besieged. But there's tons of them coming out. We just got Soviet Dawn. I still haven't played it yet, but I'm going to. There are a lot of great games out there, and it's an amazing genre. It's what gets most of us the ability to play a game by ourselves without another player.
Yeah.
Period. Because it's designed for that.
Yeah, and what's nice, games that are designed for it, usually you get some interesting mechanics to help replace the fact that you don't have an opponent.
Yeah.
As opposed to just whipping out a 2-player game and just kind of playing it.
Yeah.
So that's the only element that you kind of lose. You don't have, your opponent is yourself, and it's maybe more of an intellectual exercise, which is totally fine. I do that a lot.
Yeah, I enjoy
it. But the one question that we get asked all the time is like, what's a good solitaire games that you would recommend on this topic? The real answer to that question is
what do you like?
Yeah, whatever the hell game that you're interested in. Like, I've played a number of my big games solo.
Yeah.
Because if you like a game, or if you think a game looks interesting, just buy that and play it solo.
Yeah.
Like,
just make sure it doesn't have a lot of hidden information where a block war game. I just don't know how you play those solo.
Right, but you could just play it face up.
But you lose the element of that.
Right, but
that's my only.
But if you are really interested in it, and at some point you'll play it 2-player, like, go ahead, who cares?
Yeah, right. You're going to learn it. You're going to enjoy it.
Like, Unconditional Surrender. I've played that Solitaire. Mm-hmm. It works completely fine solo. There's no reason that you can't do
it. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So many other, like, Simonich's games, you can play those totally fine. Like, so
I've played Holland 44 by myself before we played.
Just because a game isn't, doesn't say, "That's designed for one person," doesn't mean you can't do it.
You can try to do it.
Like, there are games that have all these bots in them these days, but, you take that for what you want, or you can just sit there and just play the game and just do your best with each side.
We haven't really even talked about or mentioned it, but, the Coin series from GMT Games, they are doing a fully functional bot system that uses cards, and it works really well.
Yeah.
We've played a couple of games where we did those bot card systems, and they worked really good. They kicked our butts. The moderates in All Bridges Burning absolutely dominated us.
Yeah.
Now, I think we can stop them next time we play, because I think we figured out, we should have done this.
They also revised the victory conditions because it was too easy for them.
Okay. But, that's a game that's designed for multiplayer. You can play it solo and play 3 other factions following these cards, and they used to have a flow chart, which worked as well.
It was fine. It was just a bit more harder. Involved.
Yeah. So yeah, don't limit yourself. I think there's a lot of different options that you can get out there. Yeah. I also think that GMT is a prime example. They've created an entire studio called GMT1. Solo gaming is becoming big. They've created a studio that is working on doing that. Yes. Making solo mods for existing games, new games, games that are coming up, so that we can play them and enjoy them solo. And get a competitive opponent.
And a company's not going to invest in something like that if it's just something fleeting. They obviously know that sales and demand are massive. When they put a Solitaire game on P500, it almost always hits immediately and usually goes well over. And
most of their games also, they have a solo mode for almost everything. And to me, that's what's amazing.
Because they know.
Yeah, they know it's needed. There's a market.
There's so many people, like, I don't know the statistics for this, but I imagine probably the majority of the people will play it solo. Like, it might be 51%, but that's the majority. But, like, so many people are playing these games individually, and they have been doing that historically and will continue to do so as well. So the market for solo gaming is going to continue to rise. It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. I do think COVID kind of had a spike in it, but it wasn't, like you said, the production and design was a steady incline. That COVID just spiked the purchase of that
spikes the sales of it.
Yeah, the sales.
Which in turn will drive more growth.
Yep. And my guess is a lot of people became solo aficionados over that 6-month period.
And so then you're like, oh, I want more of this.
Yeah, we couldn't play. I mean, we didn't play for how many months? 4 months?
It was a long time, yeah.
And I played dozens of solo games myself. Hollandspiel, White Dog Games, DVG, others. I had a great time.
Yeah, and
I still wanted to play.
And I'm pulling out my big games, trying to, playing those.
Dark Valley, and you play, I mean, I don't know. It's a genre that's here to stay. It's going to continue to grow and develop. I think it's going to continue to see a lot of new designs come out. I hear about new solo games all the time. Yeah. Dan Versen Games is churning them out.
Yes, they are.
I mean, they've got 3 or 4 now that just... I mean, you played Zero Leader last month. We got that. They have Warfighter Fantasy coming out. Looks amazing. It's a solo game, but can be played cooperatively.
Compass just released Defending America.
Yeah. Where is that?
Kicking around somewhere.
It's over here.
It's Greg Smith's latest design, part of his solo series.
And Greg is just churning these things out like it's his job. I mean, he's working on this.
Greg's such a good dude, and he's a good friend of the show.
Yeah.
He, shout out to Gregory M. Smith. He's like, oh, I've got this in the works, and this in the works, and this in the works.
It's ridiculous.
He tells us what he's got on his table, and we keep it hush-hush, but man.
Yeah. He's supposed to be retired, and the guy's working harder now than I think he ever worked. And it's funny because I think I talked to him a month ago, and he's like, Grant, I got these 3 or 4 games in design. He's doing that Tank Commander game from Compass and Tank Commander Ace, and I mean, he's got this game that just came out. He's got a new game on chasing subs, so it's the antithesis of the hunters.
Yeah, it's like you're the surface destroyer.
Yeah, you're a destroyer group trying to hunt them down.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm like, sign me up for that.
So he's working on that.
He's got his Japanese
Sensui-Con.
Yeah.
I don't know I think that's Compass, maybe.
I think it's all Compass.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But that's a guy that he has got a formula. It's worked. People demand it. They want it, and he's going to churn them out.
We haven't even gotten Western Front Ace. Like the
That's
World War I stuff.
Yeah.
We played a prototype of that at WBC a couple of years ago.
And that one looks really interesting and fun. It's got some cool things about it.
It was very funny to play with.
So solo game is not a fad. It is not going away. It's going to do nothing but grow.
Solo gaming is probably more popular than 2-player war.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like, I have no data to back that up with. But I imagine that more games are played or bought to play solo than not.
Yeah, agreed.
Just think I don't know. That's just a feeling. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that was helpful discussion for everyone involved. But solo gaming is like, so many people do it.
And it's
versatile. You get to do what you want at your pace.
Yes. You can play 2 or 3 turns, leave, come back, finish a game.
I don't have to go to game night and play a game that the other 3 people want to play that I'm like,
play what I want.
I got to play what I want.
Yeah.
On my time.
And it's also just so interesting, some of the systems that people come up with, that they work really well.
Yeah. Board game AIs are fascinating.
It's just, Ben Madison. That guy's come up with so many different, Don't Tread on Me, American Revolutionary War, Mound Builders, for gosh sakes, which is a look at pre-Columbian American. It's just phenomenal, the systems that he's made to deal with these games. Jeff Davis is another one. Nubia. I don't know. And that's just one guy. You got Greg Smith doing it as well. You got others doing it as well. I mean, it's just David Kershaw does Solitaire Caesar and what was that zombie game I played? Zed USA.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but from White Dogs.
World War Z?
World War Z USA.
Okay, yeah.
Hilarious game. It's amazing. Fantastically cool, simple, solitaire system. I loved it.
Yeah. Solo gaming's not going anywhere.
No, it's not.
It's only going to continue to grow.
It will probably outpace some of the other forms of games, just because it's harder for people to get together nowadays.
Well,
it is,
and it's also, wargaming is maybe not the most enticing thing to try to get your friends into.
Yeah,
like,
unfortunately,
especially board wargaming, right? If you've got little tanks and some terrain on the table,
miniatures,
that kind of wargaming, people are like, "Oh, it's cute. I'll play on my toys." Sure. When you bring out what looks like a very dry map of somewhere with some counters and some hexes on an overlay, like, a lot of people are like, see ya.
Yeah.
So, like, it's, instead of having to go through all that and try and convince someone to begrudgingly play an 8-hour game that they're going to get bored of halfway through, I'll just enjoy it myself. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I do what I want.
And solo game really is, to me, it's a very needed part of our hobby. It really is. It's integral to how wargaming will do over the next 20 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm glad to see it's healthy.
Yes.
I really am.
Yeah, the more people that are designing them, the more competition there is, the more people are exploring new AI systems or new game mechanics. I love it, because I think everyone's raising each other up with their games, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a really cool way to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm using a card-based system. Oh, I'm using a dice rolling-based system. Or I'm making a narrative game. You know, and then people take bits and pieces here or inspire each other, like, oh, that was really good.
I can use that.
How do I use that kind of a thing to...
Joel Toppin is a guy that has done several Navajo Wars, Comancheria. Those systems that he has created for that game is just so intelligent. And just really, So I'd love to see someone use his system and try to do something else with it. And that's what ends up happening. Yeah. I don't know. The guys that are successful are going to be copied, and then people will make it better. They'll improve, and that's good for all of us.
Well, and then you got Jerry White, who's making games that I can't even think of. Right?
How do you even think of something like Atlantic Chase and what it does? And it has a solo mode.
How you've thought that up and how it all comes together. You're like,
how does this work?
I don't
understand.
Like, my brain doesn't work that way, but it's incredible and ingenious.
Yeah.
Some of the things that work. Like, there's so much to like out there, and I think we're only just like getting into the explorations of those things. Because really, I don't know how long Solitaire Wargaming has been around in the sense that this was a strictly Solitaire designed war game.
Yeah.
One of the first big ones was Ambush, so it's pretty old. But I think today wargaming there's so many Solitaire designed wargaming. I think we're seeing an explosion of those. We're just going to see more and more, and I think that's going to be great for us. So,
what are your top 3 favorite Solitaire war games?
RAF, Ranger.
Okay, you love Ranger. I know you love Ranger.
Never played anything like it.
Yeah, it's so different.
And
I always forget you love Ranger.
I freaking love Ranger. If you don't like Ranger from Omega Games, you get out.
You got problems. I haven't played it, so I can't say that I like it.
Oh, there's so many.
It's hard to put your finger on your absolute favorite ones.
I'd maybe go Target for Tonight. Maybe.
Yeah. You like that better than Target for Today?
I do, yes.
Okay. Target for Tonight is your jam.
From there. But there's so many.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Atlantic Chase is incredible.
Yeah. I would have to say, if I had to name my top 3, I would have to say...
D-Day at Omaha Beach was amazing.
Yeah. I would have to say... Gosh, I don't even know if I can do it. It's so hard. I really like Agricola from Hollandspiel.
Yeah.
But I also like the advances on that system, Charlemagne and...
what's that series called?
Aurelian. It's called the 3-cup system.
How
did Amabel
I like
come
the
up with
3-cup system.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one.
That's cheating, but I like it.
I also really liked Gato Leader a lot from Dan Versen Games. I've played Silent Victory and others. I just didn't like those as much as I liked Gato Leader. It was fun for me. I also, a guilty pleasure of mine is War of the Worlds.
I've not played that
from Dan Versen Games. They're just fun. They're just fun. War of the Worlds England is the one that I enjoy the most. I have the American East Coast one. It's just fun. It's just fun. Anyway, Comancheria. I don't know how I could not say Comancheria. It's one of my favorite games of all time. That game. Yeah. I'll shut up now. I've talked a lot.
Yes. Solitaire gaming is a huge part of what we do. It's a huge part of what I know a lot of you people out there play. Yeah. So, how about that? Put your favorite Solitaire War Games down below in the comments.
Yeah, let us know.
We've played a whole bunch, but I know there's a ton out there, and we probably are missing a whole bunch from our collections and need to explore some more of that. So, let us know what your favorite one is. But yeah, Solitaire War Gaming, only going to get bigger. Yeah. Only going to continue to expand. Because there is so much, the market for it's huge. Really. Yes. Like, you can sell a Solitaire Wargaming to most wargamers.
You might want to link our 2 videos that we did on those lists.
Yeah, so I think...
You did one yourself, then we did one together. You might want to kind of link those on this.
Yeah, so they're a little bit older, but we go through and discuss, introductory...
we talked about tonight.
Yeah, introductory war games, medium to kind of... complex level solo war games, and in those we also discuss the kind of mechanics that are solo friendly. And we've kind of touched on that a little bit here, but what makes a good solitaire game. So something like Empire of the Sun, not great for solitaire play.
Yeah.
Something like The Dark Valley, very good for solitaire
play.
Chit
pull.
Right. It's the underlying mechanics of those allow that to happen. We kind of go through some of those. So yeah, I'll put some links to those, or you can search for those as well.
Just because those are probably 2 of our most watched videos overall.
Right. Which lets me know that it ain't just wargamers.
And like you said, it's not like 5,000 views. It's like 40, 50, 60,000 views, which is phenomenal for us.
Because I think people who are not wargamers are like, oh, maybe I'd like to dabble.
I want to check
that.
it out. Yeah.
And so they're asking the questions on the internet, and we pop up with some of those answers. So I think that's how a lot of people get started into wargaming as well.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
There's a lot to be discussed there, but yeah, I love Solitaire Wargaming.
Wars of Marcus Aurelius. I don't know how I left that one off with Hollenspiel.
None of it's going anywhere.
And Stilicho from Robert Dulesky. Anyway, sorry.
Yes. So
I quit.
Solitaire Wargaming. Enjoy it. Just play any of your games. Just crack out your games. Play them on your own. There's no reason that you can't play both sides of a regular war game.
Right.
Just play games. That's all we want. Play more games.
Play more games.
So that's our... let's wrap it up. That's our July monthly debrief. Appreciate you guys very much for tuning in. I've been Alexander from theplayersaid.com.
And I'm Grant.